Ta-da. It should be recording now.
Yeah, so it's recording now. So, hello everyone. This is Gian Maria Betta. He's a budding investment banker who is actually interested in implementing and planning a AI strategy in near future to help with his work. And through this interview, we will explore his experiences, strategies, challenges he will be facing, or he thinks he will be facing in the future. So, with this introduction, let us begin with our interview. So, John, how are you?
I am very good. How are you, Tariq? Thank you for having me.
Of course, all good. So, John, what inspired you to start exploring AI solutions within investment banking?
So, first have to say that over the past few years, I have seen how AI is literally reshaping sectors like retail and logistics, for example, and in finance, the growing complexity of data that we in the sector are using, all the way from global market trends to client behavior, they require more than just the simple human analysis. And I actually realized that to stay ahead in deal origination, client advisory, and risk assessment, for example,
Yeah.
and it is very obvious that AI can offer speed, accuracy in all of these areas, and uh, um, and it can provide foresight that we cannot just provide manually or through the human eye.
Ah, so what kind of AI applications are you considering for implementation? Like there are AI tools like predictive analytics, risk modeling, fraud detection, and automated reporting, which are huge in finance. Do you think they will help you?
Yes, definitely. And I personally am particularly interested in three main areas. The
Okay.
first one is predictive analytics, uh,
Yeah.
which is
Very
mainly
important in forecasting, I think.
correct, especially for
Yeah.
M&A transactions, M&A opportunities that are
Yeah.
based on market signals, for example.
Hmm.
Then there is a second area of interest, which is natural language processing, or also known as NLP,
Yeah.
which is used in our industry to summarize investor reports and financial statements faster, because as you might be aware of, analyzing financial statements uh, by hand,
Yeah.
it's a very
By
lengthy.
hand is pretty complicated, but
Correct,
that's a good thing.
correct. And there is a third, last but not least, application of AI in within the industry that we are actually using and implementing, which are the very famous AI chatbots.
Yeah.
They're used mainly for automating early stage investor communications. And of course, long term, I'd like to explore sentiment analysis of, for example, earning calls,
Mhm.
and using AI for these things will help us, gauging market mood in a very fast and efficient way.
Oh, perfect. So how do you see AI enhancing like decision making or performance in these areas like portfolio management and market analysis?
Well, AI can definitely surface very efficiently patterns or opportunities from data sets that are unstructured,
Yeah.
like, for example, news, uh, earnings calls, or social sentiment that requires a lot of data analysis in order to, for a trend to be actually extracted from such data. And human analysts might miss actually some insights given the amount of noise that is contained within these data sets. And in deal structuring, for example, it could also recommend optimal valuation ranges based on historical data.
Mm-hmm.
A third application in market analysis, for example, AI, the use of AI could reduce time to insights drastically and help us to uh, act faster on high potential leads.
Ah, okay. So what steps are you or plan to take in future for AI adoption?
Well, We, as a company, we are still currently in the assessment stage, and I have personally proposed uh, forming a cross-functional task force involving tech, compliance, and client facing team. Uh,
Mm.
and we are also at the same time in talks with a couple of AI consulting firms to evaluate our data infrastructure readiness to start as soon as possible. And a small AI readiness workshop for senior leadership is planned actually next month to align expectation and identify champions internally that we can leverage.
Okay. So, in one word, can you answer? Like, do you believe like your current team has the skills to adopt AI, or will there be a need to hire a new talent or a new person who has like more expertise, or to retain existing staff or train them? Just brief summary. Just
Yeah,
like you know.
that's a actually a good question. But to be honest, we will need a mix. Uh,
Okay.
some team members are, of course, very data savvy, but we will
Mm.
definitely need to reskill relationship managers on how to use AI insights in client conversations. Primarily.
So yeah, this leads me to my next questions. Like in a data heavy industry like investment banking, with a lot of unstructured data, how do you like how are you preparing your data architect to support this AI?
Well, I have to start by saying that most of our data is stored in silos like CRM,
Uh,
Marketplace, Excel sheets, and it needs to be definitely worked on, cleaned, labeled, and integrated. And we are exploring cloud-based data lakes such
uh,
as APIs to streamline all of this. And of
yeah.
course, security and compliance are also our top priorities as well. So everything must pass through rigorous internal checks before it gets out to the client or to the employees.
So like, do you guys face any ethical or regulatory risks related to using AI in finance, like biases in algorithm or transparency in any recommendations which you are giving?
Oh, yes, yes, of course we do. Uh, like, for example, bias in credit scoring or the recommendations, as you anticipated, can be uh, um, quite catastrophic in our industry, and not just financially, but mainly reputationally, as it has
Okay.
actually happened in the past. And we are committed to using explainable AI tools and involving compliance teams very early on with the goal of maintaining human oversight for all major
Yeah,
driven
that's very important.
recommendations and decisions that are made.
Yeah, that's pretty important. So, do you anticipate a resistance from clients, leadership, or colleagues when introducing such AI? Like, how do you plan to manage that change?
Yeah, I mean that's hard to tell as of now, but resistance, as you know, it's natural. And
Yeah,
of course, some senior colleagues worry that AI will replace judgment or reduce the so-called human touch in client relationships, but this is really not the case. Uh, I actually plan to frame AI as an assistant rather than as a replacement. So people that are concerned shouldn't be that worried.
yeah. So, what metrics or outcomes would you define a successful AI implementation for yourself personally? I mean, for like financial gains, efficiency, client satisfaction, what drives you maybe?
Okay, so initially I would look at a reduction in manual hours spent on data analysis and reporting primarily. If you
Okay.
can cut that by 40 or 50%, that's a very huge win. And
Mm-hmm.
on the other hand, in the long run, success will mean actually faster deal closures, higher client retention, and a stronger pipeline for forecasting accuracy. And these are all actually tangible business outcomes specifically tied to AI and its uses.
Uh, so this brings me to my last question. Like, where do you see AI taking the investment banking uh, industry in next 5 years, and how do you want to position yourself in future?
Okay, that's a challenging question. but I would say that in 5 years, I see AI becoming as essential, basically as Bloomberg terminals are today and have been for the past 20 years or so. And banks that don't adapt will definitely fall behind. And uh, personally speaking, I want to position myself as a hybrid leader, so to call it, which means that, someone who understands both finance and technology at the same time and is able to balance both elements
Okay.
equally. And my goal is to eventually lead a digital transformation unit or become the chief AI strategy officer in the financial sector, especially where I'm going.
Oh,
Yeah.
so thank you so much for your John. For thank you so much for your time, John. It
You
was a pleasure talking with you and exploring all these AI tools.
anytime. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you for
course.
having me.
So, of course, of course. So this is John. He is a budding investment banker who is exploring the possibility of implementing AI and planning AI strategies in his future. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Tariq.